Welcome back here. We started the 4 o'clock set of games here. And we got the TV right now on CNC Curling Factory throwing red rocks and Jeff Baird throwing yellow rocks. So we got the first stone away. It looks like a 1. Nice guard there.
Mississippi and
Alright, and we got the first rock away here for CNC Curling Factory. Looks like they've got the hammer here in this first end. And looks like a hog rock there. Always a little heavy coming out there, especially right after that fresh pebble and nip. Usually it speeds up once we get to the second or third end. And, Jeff Baird here trying to draw around that yellow that's out in front of the house so he can sit 1 behind cover. Especially considering he doesn't have the hammer, it'd be great to put 1 in the house behind that guard out front. And it looks like this has pretty good weight here. It looks like he wants to keep this in front of the tee line. That's alright. It's a fine shot. Didn't quite get behind that yellow rock like they wanted, but it's in the house. It's above the tee line. Not in the parking lot, as Mr. Horseman likes to refer to it. And it looks like the CNC Curling Factor here is trying to draw in again. They're coming from the other side, though. This will be an out turn. And again, trying to use that yellow rock, just like Baird was thinking of doing, to guard their shot. Trying to get this in there. Look like it's curling in nicely. A little sweep in. A little more sweep in. Oh, not quite enough. But not bad. They can use that maybe to tap it back and on their next shot. It looks like Baird's calling another about a 5 or a 6 here that we call in curling lingo. He wants that about the same distance as that last yellow one, but he'd like it to be behind the yellow. About the same distance off the tee line as on the other side. You can see where he's putting his broom right there. That's where he wants it. Again, all important to keep those shots in front of that tee line, prevent your opponent from freezing to them, which is basically just locking onto the back of them and preventing them from counting. Very difficult to hit your opponent's stone out once it's frozen to yours. So generally the job of lead is to either throw those out in front of the house or get something in the house that's in front of the tee line. I think the most skips would tell you that they'd rather have a lead throw it through the house than throw something in the back of the house. Much rather have them throw something just over the hog line, for sure. And it looked like he was calling a hit here, but ice looks like it's probably more of a draw. And the stone's away. It's definitely got some weight to it. Let's see if he's got enough ice on this to let it curl over and hit that yellow. Oh, it is a draw weight. My fault there. Looks like it's coming in nicely. It might split here. Now looks like they got 2 biters, which could help them later in the end, especially considering their shot rock, or I'm sorry, they have the hammer here. So they'll have the last stone. If they can somehow get that yellow stone out, they'd be counting 2. And I think Jeff's just trying to guard 1 up here. Looks like it's a little narrow based on where he's putting his broom. We'd like to be right in that center just to prevent red from bumping theirs back. And in curling, like I always say, you're always thinking a couple moves ahead. And that was a little heavy. He did bump that red up, but he's still sitting shot. Now again, if CNC Curling Factory can find a way to get that yellow stone out of the house there, they'd be in pretty good shape. But they've got a little bit of work to do here. And the rock's away here. Looks like he's trying to angle raise this red onto that yellow, which would accomplish the goal of getting that yellow out of the house and should leave them scoring 3 if he's able to execute it, but not an easy shot. Those angle raises are always tough. And oh, he just missed it. Oh, maybe you might have missed a sweep there on that Yellowstone just to make sure that's out of the house there. At the, you see the on the bottom right of your screen that yellow at the top. But it's certainly not closer than the 2 red stones that are in the house. So we'd call that a 3 out of 4 in curling lingo. He did lose the shooter, but he accomplished the main goal, which is getting that yellow out. And now you can see that red's sitting 2, and with the hammer here, they're looking pretty good. It looks like Jeff's probably going to try and replace one here. I would put one in the just touching that white, the 8-foot as we call it. Looks like a little heavy here, and that's going to be a flash. So a bit unfortunate for Team Baird. So the CNC Curling Factory here has an opportunity to capitalize on that mistake. And if they could put one here that's maybe just full in the blue, they'd be counting 3. It looks like 3 from here anyway. And even if Team Baird was able to hit them, they wouldn't be shot. Looks like they're calling something a little bit deeper here. But with the ice they got, that should be about right. And the stone's away. So they gave a little shove there. See if this can get by that yellow guard out front. And they're sweeping it. Oh, hurry. Interesting here. So they did wreck on that yellow guard out front, but I'll tell you what, it looks like red is the closest, or shot rock as we call it. The second closest. It's going to be tough to tell here. But it looks like Jeff Baird here has a pretty easy double on these reds. It's called a pair of pants in the curling world. As long as Charles can get this right in that pocket of those 2, should be able to pop those both out. And then you'll be back in pretty good shape here. So it's amazing the ups and downs that we can have here just in one end, or just a couple stones. And, oh. So he hit his yellow first. And unfortunately, that killed enough momentum out of the stone that he just actually promoted those 2 red stones to be first and second. So a good break here for CNC Curling Factory. Let's see if they can capitalize it. Look like they're calling a draw here. And they're all the way on the outside of the 12-foot. So with, let's see, they got 3 stones left here. With the hammer, they probably want to put something in front of the tee line, probably just in the blue. They don't want to leave an open shot for Team Baird to hit and roll over behind cover. And it looks like this is not quite the shot that was called, but again, sometimes that works out. This time it wasn't ideal. Looks like pretty close between yellow and red for second shot. Looks like it might be yellow. But again, with the hammer here, if the CNC Curling Factory can find some way to get that yellow out of there, then they're looking pretty good. Looks like they have at least 3, maybe 4 here with a little biter on the bottom left of the bottom right of your screen. And it looks like Jeff here is playing a upweight shot. I couldn't really tell exactly what he's trying to do. probably be nice if he could raise that yellow that's on there onto that red, knock the red out, and then keep the shooter around to be a guard for that hit yellow rock. I think that's probably what he's calling based on the ice he's got here. Stones away. And they're swooping it hard. Looks like might get a piece of that inside. Oh, wow. Well, sometimes it's better be lucky than good. I got a little tick off of that red there. It looks like yellow's sitting at least one, maybe two. But again, we got this pair of pants here. A little double. As you can see, CNC Curling Factory jumps right on that. They know that they just got to put one rock right between those two yellow rocks, a little bit of weight, and should pop both of them right out. And they'd be sitting three and maybe even a fourth. And with Baird only having one rock left, it's going to be very difficult for him to prevent a steal of multiple points, or I'm sorry, a score of multiple points here. Alright, Skip just getting in the hack now. Again, he's just trying to hit right in the middle of those two yellows, knock those two out. It'll be looking pretty good. Stones away, came out a little narrow here. Let's see if it's going to curl over. And here comes her hard on it. Oh, looks like it might have been a little light there and over curled. And unfortunately, he wrecked onto that guard out front there. So a missed opportunity, and let's see if Team Baird can capitalize here. Kind of a tough spot. He's got to get rid of this this situation he's got here. I would think that maybe he wants to tap one of those back just to get rid of those two that are sitting right there and so easy to hit. And if he can manage to tap one of those back, then he's got a stone behind cover, and without the hammer, anytime you can score points, you're doing okay. Looks like that's exactly what he's calling here. Just going to kind of throw we call a 7, which is T-line. That's that line that bisects right in the middle there, that goes from the top of your screen to your bottom. So just trying to bump up a little bit, and he's explaining it to the other members of his team here. So a good opportunity for Mr. Bear to capitalize on that last shot by CNC Curling Factory, see if he can't get a steal here. And the stone's away. It's like draw weight, like we suspected here. Sweepers are off. Looks a little light here. And a little lighter than he wanted, but he did get rid of that pair of pants situation we talked about here. Going to be real hard for CNC Curling Factory to get multiple points here. Oh, I wasn't. Now I'm on. Sorry about that for all of our viewer at home. Fortunate turn of events there. It looks like Team Baird scored 2. As Daryl is laughing at me. It's a good time. Alright, so on to the second end. Team Baird with hammer. First stone's away here. Depending on what kind of game he's calling here, he's probably going to want something at the top of the house or just in front of the house so we can bump it back. Looks to be pleased. And a fine shot, a little deep, but that'll play. At the higher levels of curling, that would be more of a miss than it is here in the 5 and under. Rocks in the house are big here. As you can see, CNC Curling Factory here, they're just going to try and draw one in, put one in the house. Stone's away. So they'll try to pop that yellow out a little bit later, see how the end develops. With the hammer here trying to get multiple points. So sometimes it's not always about just getting your opponent's stone out, just setting them up for a little bit more later. And it looks like in this situation he got his cake and ate it too. Got a little hit there and stayed. Good shot. That might have been a two-way shot there. Draw to the front, looked like it was a little bit heavy, so they swept it in and they got the hit and knocked it out. And of course there is no free guard rule if it's in the house. So any stones in the house are free to be hit at any time. And Team Baird's stone is away here. Looks like it's an upweight shot. Looks like they're maybe trying to hit that red out. And this could be just a little bit wide. Flash through the house. So CNC Curling Factory has one sitting in the middle of the house with the hammer. Probably look to guard this up. Maybe put one that's just biting that blue ring on the top of the 12, which is just where the skip is indicating he'd like it. You'd like to get it in line with that rock that's right in the red rings there, which is the 4 foot, to prevent Team Baird from being able to hit it. And the stone's away. Again, this is they're looking for what's called a 4 in curling, which would be just full blue here in that 12-foot ring. And they're hard on it, sweeping it hard. Looks like need a little help to get there. Oh, fine shot. So you can see Jeff still indicating that he thinks he can get here. I think he can as well. The stone's a little exposed. Looks like they're going to try and freeze to it. Freeze, though it seems simple, one of the most difficult shots in curling because not only does the weight have to be perfect, but the line does as well. Not much room for error. A very popular shot to be called for the probably 2nd through 5th stones at the end, and this being the 3rd stone of the end, not surprising. So without the hammer here, if Jeff's able to freeze to this red, it's pretty much going to lock down the CNC Curling Factory's ability to score multiple points here, because it's going to be very difficult for them to get that out. But unfortunately, a little heavy there, didn't curl over, so that was a flash, and now CNC Curling Factory's sitting 2 here, and this is probably either another guard or they might be splitting the house.
Curling Taser.
And stones away here. Look, based on the ice, like they're trying to probably a center line guard here. And again, if they can get it just biting in those rings with the hammer here, that can end up being a big extra point.
These are website stuff.
And stone's coming down. Weight looks pretty good. Maybe a little heavy.
Curling dot.
So it's going to end up going into the 4 foot. And actually leaves Baird a double here. And it looks like that's what he's calling, so this will probably be an upweight shot. He's going to try and hit both of those red stones that are in the red rings, or the 4 foot. Hit them both out. So looks like he's calling an out turn. So this is he's going to try and get. I would think he's trying to get the inside part of this red rock that's at the top of the forefoot, and then go right back onto that other red rock. It looks like that's a little bit outside here. He's going to get one of them though. Oh, not quite enough. Unfortunately, bumped it back there and behind cover again. So CNC Curling Factory looking real good here. 2 stones buried deep in the house, one in the top 12 foot. And it looks like they're again trying to guard this up. So if they can put one right about that same distance as that stone that you see in the blue rings there, just about on that center line, or just a little bit off of it, that would be ideal. They'd be sitting 4, and Bear would be in a lot of trouble this end. Have to make some great shots to come back from it. Stones away. And this looks a little heavy. And it looks like it's going to go through here. So, missed opportunity. Let's see if Bear can capitalize on that. I think he's probably going to try and freeze. Yep, there's the broom right there. He's indicating that's what he'd like to do. And again, cutting down and freezing right to the top of that red one right there is going to negate the ability of red to score a lot, multiple points here, unless they can somehow get that yellow out. So even those little guards like that, they don't seem like big misses. But if Charles can make a shot here, that's really going to be a turning point in this end, because Baird was in pretty tough shape. But let's see if Charles can pull it off here. Like I said, freeze isn't easy. Weight and line have to be perfect. This looks pretty good. They're sweeping it hard. Oh, great shot. Great shot. Got a little tick here, so even though it's not a freeze, it's just fine because we've got a little backing there for that yellow. So even if red comes in here with some weight and tries to hit the yellow out, there's a good chance that it could hit one of those red ones and stay in the house. But they have obviously tried to get that yellow out here, and it looks like they're calling maybe. Okay, so maybe they're trying to corner freeze here, which might allow them to hit it out on their next shot, or if they can move it over a little bit potentially and knock it out and expose it, then maybe they can hit on the next shot. Again, you're always 2 or 3 shots ahead when you're calling these. Stones away. And they're sweeping it hard. Looks like it's on the other side of the center line here. So we should probably sweep it in a little bit more just to, there we go. It's a fine shot. Good little plan B. He is still sitting shot here, and looks like Baird's going to try and freeze that yellow one there. If he can lock 2 up in there, then he'd be pretty good. Without the hammer here and getting 2 in the first end, he'd be okay giving up 1 here. So even if that red rock that was just thrown is shot rock or closest to the center, I think he'd be okay with it. Because if he can freeze 1 more here, it's really going to hurt CNC Curling Factory's chances of scoring multiple points here. This looks to be a little heavy. Might be able to get a piece of that back red rock though. Not bad. So we still got some backing on that the yellow rock that appears to be shot 2. It looks like CNC Curling Factory here is obliged to just try and draw and get 2. They got a few stones left here, but not trying to do anything crazy to hit those 2 yellow stones out of the house. It's just based on the line, I would suspect draw weight. Let's see how it comes down here. You're probably just trying to freeze to that one on the back of the red. It looks like that was a little heavy. Didn't quite curl enough. So now Barrett's got an opportunity here. You can see him touching that red rock and that yellow rock. So he's going to try and throw normal, which is a takeout weight, I would think, based on where he's got the broom. And I think that he'd like to hit that red rock out on the inside of it, which is more towards Charles's broom there. and he'd like to roll over and ideally lock onto that yellow that is just to the just below Charles's broom there, right in the center. So that's the shot. Big opportunity to turn what was looking like a bad end around, and he might even be able to he'd be line 3 if he makes this, and 2 of those would be pretty tough to get at. So he'd be probably making the Curling Factory draw for 1. Let's see if he can pull it off here. Stones away. Weight looks good. Let's see where they got the sweepers. They're hard on it. Looks like it might be a little bit outside, trying to hold the line here. And that's a fine shot. Got that red out. And actually, where that ended up, it's not bad that it didn't roll over, because even if the Curling Factory here is able to hit that yellow that Jeff just threw there, they're not going to be shot. In fact, they'd be 3rd. So if I were Barrett, I'd be pretty happy with that shot there. Didn't get the roll he was looking for, but ultimately might even end up better than he was looking for. So if I'm the Curling Factory here, I'm thinking you're probably either trying to draw to that yellow rock here that's right by the broom in the red. Either that, or you have to do some kind of upweight shot that would wick off that. I mean, it'd be tough. They're in a tough spot here. He does have 2 stones left here, so you don't know. He could try to come down double and try to get those yellows out. Not an easy shot by any means. And then maybe go after that last yellow on the last one if Barrett isn't able to guard it up. But with the ice is calling here, looks like this. Either it's going to be a upweight, or maybe he's trying to freeze to that yellow. It looks like it must be an upweight shot based on the ice. Let's see. Unfortunately, no audio on the ice. We're still working on that. Alright, Skip's getting the hack here, making sure he's got the right shot call. You can see the third. You can see those fingers waving on that white glove, indicating what handle he's going to throw. Depending on how fast he throws it, that rock, especially on this ice, can probably curl up to about 7 or 8 feet. Today it was curling a lot. Looks like they need this to come over. That's actually not awful though. He gets that front guard out. He's got 1 more stone. He could actually even double that and be looking pretty good. It's not an easy shot by any means. But Barrett's, you see where his right foot is here? He's trying to put one right up there in the top of the 8 foot. And ideally, he'd like it to be 3rd shot, so he'd have the 3 closest yellows. So just all the way into that yellow would be great, or all the way into that white would be a great shot. And that would make that double there very difficult and might turn it into a triple. So a good chance for Barrett to lock down 2 here, or at least make it very difficult on the Curling Factory. Great name, by the way. I was a big fan of C&C Music Factory back when I was about 10 or 11 years old, growing up in the 80s and 90s. Stones away. Let's see if he can throw it light enough. The ice is running very, very fast today. Very difficult to throw guards. Especially as a skip, you're throwing a lot of takeouts, stuff to dial that back. So let's see if Barrett can do it effectively here. And they're not touching it. Looks like it might be just a hair heavy. And it's probably going to settle right down towards the button, maybe even a little bump here. This actually sets up something very interesting here. He's got the angle here to throw a triple. It's going to be very difficult. He's got the right turn here, if that's what the call is. He can actually squirt that yellow, the first one that's towards the, looks like he's drawn instead. So let's table that for now. So he's got some back in here, just trying to draw down for 1. Would have been a higher risk shot to throw that triple. Probably would have scored 4 if he made it, but again, the likelihood of making it, it's a very difficult shot to try and get all those out. It would have been very, very up weight. So he's got plenty of back in here. If he can just draw in here, he'll take his 1, go on to the next end. and try to steal. Looks like this might be a little outside and heavy though. So unfortunately it's going to be another steal of 3 for Baird. And I'm going to leave you just for a second here. We're going to go check on some of these other games and I'll be right back. Alright, little technical difficulties. We're moving over to Sheet D and checking out the T-Line Hackers against Sheet Faced. Couple of great team names again. Props to the curling club members for coming up with these fun names. So the last games, Sheet Faced actually had a great game. Really took it to their opponent. Everyone played very well, and Tom Morelli and the T-Line Hackers had a great game against David Rock, and actually just lost in the last end by one. Which I think that with David being one of the favorites here, that was great for Tom. And the scoreboard here says 2-0. They actually haven't posted the score for the second end here. And we haven't had an opportunity to check on that. So as soon as I get that, I'll let you know. You can see on the top right of your screen there, we're just right to the top left of Tom's head where it says there's that 1 just below the 2 by Sheet Face. Looks like they scored 2 in the first. And it looks like Red, T-Line Hackers, have the hammer here, so looks like Sheetface may have stolen in the second end as well. So Tom looking okay here. He's got one behind cover. It looks like he's trying to hit this yellow out of there. Great shot. Let's see what Sheetface comes back with. Jason Halleck, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a skip here. And he's got his broom on the outside of the 12-foot there. Looks like he's probably calling a draw. And especially considering it looks like they stole in the second end here, so they're up at least 3-0. They'd be okay letting Tom and the T-Line Hackers have that red that's in the button. If they can just give up 1 here without the hammer and take the hammer back, they'd be very happy. So looks like that's their strategy. Looks like this might be a little narrow, and he's actually going to raise that red. Onto the other red, and a good break for Tom and the T-Line Hackers here. Looks like they're going to clear this guard here. I think this might be an opportunity to draw behind that guard and use it as cover and score 3. But Tom likes to play a clean game. Get this guard out of here. He says, uh-oh, that looks like it's a bit narrow. Better get back here and take a look. And it's coming down, not sweeping. Now we're going to get that yellow out of there. Unfortunately, they're going to go back on their red and knock it out. So, 2 red rocks back in the same place. Unfortunately, the only thing that was accomplished was that yellow guard that was out front there is now gone. And with the hammer there, you'd think that maybe, especially buried 2, that he'd like to have one out there. I'll be playing with Tom in the next upcoming Bonspiel, so we'll have a little chat about that. But again, always easier from the 75-degree warmth of the booth than on the ice. Let's see what Jason's doing here. Looks like he's, I would think he's probably trying to hit that that stone that's close to the button there. Based on the ice he gave, I think that's probably hacked to board weight. Definitely not normal, not quite enough ice for that. So he's trying to keep the shooter here, even if he can't hit this red. Looks like he's going to get a piece of it. He's going to lose the shooter, and he did contact the red, but it did leave those 2 back buried behind that back. And I don't know if you can see those or not. A little tough from this angle, but again, Mr. Morelli and the T-Line Hackers here. Nice opportunity. Like this call here. He's trying to put one right in the top 12-foot. And if he can guard Sheet-Faced from curling around and getting into the 4-foot and being shot, that would be perfect. So he wants this to be just in the red rings. I believe my lovely wife Ashley is going to join us here. Put the headset on, she's live.
Hello.
Playing lead for the Broom Stackers. So far, we're into the A bracket. We'll have to see how we do tomorrow morning. Good curling today, Ashley.
Thanks. You too.
So we're watching Sheet D. This is Tom Morelli and the T-Line Hackers against Sheetface, who had a great game last time. Jason Halleck and Alex, who actually played against on Thursday, who played so well. So I'm not quite sure what happened in the second end here, but I know that Sheetface stole at least one because Tom's got the hammer here. They haven't posted the score yet, but they yell at the third for getting on that. That's always their responsibility. And the rocks away here. I was a little distracted by my beautiful wife to be able to tell what shot they were calling. Looks like a flash. So good break here for Tom. See if he can't try to put that one back up in the 12 foot that he was calling last time. And where's he got the broom? He's going to throw a guard. Looks like he's going to try and be happy with two here. Maybe he can bump that back later on. 3 stones left here plus the hammer. You'd think maybe he'd go top 12 foot. But I think that's probably the miss. He just doesn't want to be heavy. And Carl's got the stone away here. Tom's saying right there, I want a 3. I want a 3 right there, or I'm tapping my broom. And here comes, we're not touching it. Come on, sweep it into the house, sweep it into the house. There you go. Fine shot. Not exactly what was called, but I think that's probably the ideal shot. It really guards Mr. Halleck and Sheet-faced away from drawing in there. Going to make it very difficult for them. So I think what they'll probably do is probably come out here. You can see where he's got his broom here. They're trying to probably either draw into that 4 foot there. Oh, now they're talking about it. Alex says, why don't we go over here? Tom says, no, I'm going to skip. This is what we're doing. We're going to go out this side. So Alex says, sure, you got it, buddy. Puts the broom out there. Looks like with this ice, they're calling a draw. Or might be even trying to freeze to that red that's in the white, the 8 foot. A little tough to tell from this camera angle, but I'm not sure they can see that red for a hit there. That would be the primary focus. But if he can come down and freeze to that, he'd be in pretty good shape. Alex, the third in the green here, holding the broom. As you can see in the top right of your screen, indicating that he wants an intern. And Jason's about to deliver the stone here in the hack. See if he can't freeze right to that red one. And it's actually Alex in the green shirt here we have to blame for not posting that score. We'll give him his lashes later on, don't you worry. Stones away here. See where the sweepers are. They're waiting on it. Looks like it. They're on it. Coming in nicely.
Looks a little
Very
heavy.
hard. Looks a little light here. He's got to get shot. It's unfortunately not going to be shot, but he is second shot. Which again, as I mentioned before, not always the end of the world to give up one when you don't have the hammer. Especially when you have a lead. Which Sheet-Face does here, just not sure. It's definitely more than 2-0, probably 3-0. We'll find out as soon as Alex turns around, grabs the score, and puts on the board that he's standing right next to. And let's see what looks like Tom's trying to draw in here. And if I were him, I'd try to put one that's fully into the 8 foot. Well, he does have a couple stones left here. Alternative of this might be trying to hit that yellow out, or at least creating an opportunity to do so on your next stone, so you can end up counting that red stone that's sitting in the outer 12 there, the red rings on the top of the house. But looks like Tom's content to draw here if he can pull this off, and he'd end up sitting 2. And maybe he tries the crazy shot in this next one. Usually what you do is you want to try and bank a couple points here on your first one, and then if you can gamble and get a little bit lucky in that last stone, then that's when you choose to do it. Alright.
Almost.
Well, looks like it's probably pretty close here between the red and the yellow for a second shot. based on what they call here, you would think they'd probably know. It looks like maybe they're thinking about bumping back this yellow. Which, if that's the case, then they probably don't think that that yellow is second shot. Which, from this angle, it looks like red's 1 and 2. Except that yellow was second shot, you'd probably leave it there and try to draw into the 8-foot full white V-shot rock and make red hit you to take 2. So they are calling a draw here. Trouble with this call is unless you can bury it behind that red one out front, you're probably going to leave it wide open. So if Tom can make a hit on it, assuming he does make the shot here, so you can see Alex tap his broom there on that blue. He says, I want it right there. Trouble with this is even if you are shot, you do leave it open for Tom's last stone. He's got an opportunity to hit you here and take multiple points. Right, Ashley?
Yep.
Dynamite drop in there.
Thanks. Working hard.
Alright, Jason's in the hack, stones away. Oh, looks like Mr. Alex did finally get around to posting that score from the last time. Looks like it was a steal of 2, so it's actually 4-0 here for Sheep-Faced. Love the name. And we're coming down here. It looks like it's sweeping it pretty hard. Looks a little light.
Yep. 3 sweepers is never a good sign.
Yeah, they say that you'll see that at the amateur levels, but not really at the professional levels. They say that third sweeper doesn't do much of anything. I guess maybe moral support.
That always helps.
Moral support definitely helps, especially when the sweepers are busting their butt trying to get that stone over the hog line or into the house.
Always better than the skip just yelling hard as you're going as hard as you can.
They're just sitting there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Help is always better.
Understood. Well, I know what to do next time I'm yelling at you.
Yep.
Alright, so let's see if Tom looks like he's got at least 1. I don't know about 2. Looks like he might be 2. So he's probably going to try and if he can get to that yellow stone there, it's in the top 12 foot, he can get a bunch here.
Yeah, with a clean hit, that'd be great.
I just don't know if he can see it. Looks like where they're calling the ice, you can't even see Alex on that bottom right view. He's got the broom so far out there.
Came out pretty quick though, so might be a hit.
Yeah, with that ice, I don't know. Or I'm sorry, that's not Alex. That's Carl. And it looks like it wrecked on the guard there. So it's gonna be at least 1 for red. Let's see what happens with this. We'll save for the decision here. And it looks like 2 red. So the T-line hacker is back in the game with 2 with the hammer there. And we're just going to pause for a second. I'm going to go check this other game and see if we can get you something else here. You're on. No, you're not. Now you're on.
All right. Start of the next end. Amy and the hack ready to go. Just looking for a nice rock in front of the house. Looks a little heavy. Might be T-line, maybe more. Ice is awfully fast tonight. I think it took us all by a little bit surprise. It's hard to slow down under pressure. See what their first rock looks like. 3 sweepers again, a little bit light. But in play is always good. Alright, Tom wants one in the house, right in the front of the 12. Curl in behind that yellow one nicely. Just a little lighter.
Oh, we didn't change the camera here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Sorry to Ashley on that one.
Nice shot by Amy. Just a little heavier than he expected, but still nice, right near the tee line.
Just an update on sheet A. Baird is leading 5-1, so they've piled on a little bit there. We'll come back to that game if it gets a little bit more competitive. Right now, 4-2 here with the tee line hackers and sheet faced. And stones away here for Jason Halleck and the sheet-faced red team.
A little quick,
Sorry,
coming
the
in
sheet-faced
for
yellow team.
the hit.
So they're coming in for the hit here, and not a bad shot. Did get the hit, split the house. At least that red is no longer buried behind cover. So let's see how Tom responds here. Looks like he wants to hit this out. It's a good shot. Good call. So with that ice here, he's probably looking at board weight. See how CJ does here. And again, a lot of these curlers just, it's amazing that so many of them are curling for under a year and just how well they're doing. I mean, we're not calling the Briar here. It's look at this. This looks pretty good. If they can hold it, they can hold on the line.
Oh, sweet.
Well, unfortunately, just a little wide there. Looks like that might have been a little bit on the light side and over curled. But nonetheless, T-line hackers are sitting 1. Not a bad spot to be in, especially if you don't have the hammer. I'm going to let you take over here. I'm going to go check the other games real quick.
Looks like just a draw in. Came out a nice and light. As I said earlier, the ice is awfully fast tonight, so light is always a good thing. This way you can carry a rock a long way.
Just an update for you on Sheet B. We'll be going there next. David Rock and Team Rock is leading the Slip and Sliders from Houston.
Good
4-1.
stone.
And this is the time in every end when the skip says, well, it looks like we're in a little bit of trouble here. And they got the hammer, so we better take out this guard so we have an opportunity at these other ones. Looks like with the ice he's calling, he's probably trying to, I think he's trying to lose a shooter here too. Remember, this would be normal to peel weight, but not quite enough ice for that. So he just wants to try and hit the top edge of this yellow where his broom is here, and then knock both of those out, which is exactly what he did. Good shot there by CJ. Got that guard cleared out, and sheet face can always replace it, which is what they'll try to do here. But if you're Tom Morelli, you're looking for a miss here or something that's maybe not quite on the center line that leaves that great draw that Ashley just called there exposed for a hit. Because as it stands right now, they can trade shots, and with their last shot, Jason Halleck would probably try to hit that red out and take 3, which would obviously be real tough for Tom Morelli and the T-line hackers to come back from. So Stone's away here, looking for probably like a 2-3 here, which is probably somewhere about halfway between the top of the house and that blue line. Looks like this is a little bit heavy. You can see it's coming in here and
Little tick.
got a little tick here. Well, we got a nice pair of pants here for Tom, and I think that Tom knows to call this double here. And he's saying, "Oh, let's hit this one here. Let's get that one over there too." And there's the ice. You always want to call it right in the middle of both of them. You never want. You always want to. So he's calling an intern here. So in this situation, you always want to call the turn that's going to err on the side of hitting one of the stones. That way, if the shot is off the broom, at least you get one of them. And it looks like this is a little light.
And it
right
sailed through.
Well,
Hit the back one.
I think maybe they could have swept that and got a piece of that yellow, but at least they got that yellow one out in the back. So no matter what Mr. Halleck does here, they're going to have that double again. If he guards this up, they're going to be able to come at it from one of the two sides.
Looks like they're kibitzing about it and having a good time out there.
It is a long double. Don't let me underestimate how difficult that shot was. Anytime those rocks are separated like they are by almost 2 feet, that's not an easy shot. Just got to hit the right part of that inside stone to get it over there. And it almost seems sometimes like it's not even possible that you could not hit anything, but it happens more often than you'd think. So Stone's away here, just probably trying to throw a guard.
Luckily, we're joined by the famous Daryl Horsman for
Infamous.
oh no, I'd say famous. We were just talking
Again,
yesterday.
Looks a little deep here. And so Tom's got to throw something up weight here. Get rid of a couple of these yellow stones that are in the
Blow it
house.
up with some dynamite.
Well, I think this is probably the double is the ideal shot here, but where you see where he's calling this here, it's something where you might want to throw the other turn and err on the side of caution. That way, at least you hit one of them. Now, this time, if Carl goes wide, he's gonna end up hitting his own red stone. But it looks like Tom likes it here. He's having it swept.
Oh.
And he's got that top yellow stone, and he got them split up a little bit. That's not awful. That's
Now you have room for freezes.
At least you got one out of there. A couple stones left here, so not the end of the world. And the house is split here for sheet-faced, and they're 1 and 2 with the hammer. So not a real good spot for Tom, but you never know. Things can change quickly, as we saw in the last couple ends.
It only ever takes one rock.
That's right. Well, you saw how quickly things turned around in that last end. Just one missed guard. We were watching Baird earlier. Same thing happened. Yeah, Stone's weight.
Coming in pretty light.
Light, but again, it's all about line. So it looks like they were able to guard that. A little tough from that camera angle. And it looks like they're calling a draw here.
Which I believe is doable.
It's definitely doable. I think I'd probably play the hit myself. Especially seeing as though Sheet-Faced has the hammer here. I think that Tom's got a chance to hit this yellow out here that's closest to the broom and roll over behind cover. So we'll see if that's what he's trying to do, or if he's just trying to. He could also freeze to that yellow that's on the top, or on this way we're looking at it here, towards the other side of the house, closest to the score sheet here. So Stone's weight. Let's see what kind of weight he's got on it. Looks like they're might be a little heavy, and unfortunately that's going to go right in the middle of everything. It's so hard to make that draw right down the middle, but when there's 2 stones on the other side you're trying to hit it, for some reason it happens every time. Alex and Jason talking about what to do here. Probably want to guard this up, prevent Tom from drawing in here, and they're probably looking at all else being equal, a hit on their last stone to try and get 3 or 4.
Looks like they're talking about going over into the red, but they're forgetting about that other stone in the white.
Well, I think they're hitting any of the reds except this. So now he looks like he's calling this hit here on the red.
It's a lot of ice.
Yeah, he could be throwing like a board shot or something. But with 2 stones left here, you think you'd probably save that for the last one. I think that because even if you hit this here, you're probably leaving an open draw. Tom has a chance to freeze to one of those stones and cut you down. So if he can pull it off, that's great. He'd be sitting 3, and he's going to make Tom draw to cut him down here. But if he was able to put one maybe into the just full 12 foot, and then save this shot for his next one, he might be looking at 4. Good opportunity to put the game away, but you never know. Always easier from 75 degrees sitting on my butt drinking a beer. Alright, see what Jason's got here. With this kind of ice, he's probably just throwing a board weight. It's coming out here pretty hot. You can look at Alex and probably tell pretty quickly where it is. He's getting down there. Looks like you might like it. They're on it hard, which means they're trying to hold the line. Looks like this more like a draw than anything else. But if he can bump this red back, that would be a bad shot.
Freeze up to it. That's
alright. So now yellow is counting 3, and
there is the double for Tom.
well, it doesn't quite have that double because that red's there. But what he could do is, I think that the shot here, you're really close to where Carl's got his broom. If he can go right there, or just freeze to the back of that yellow, he'd be in pretty good shape here. This big shot for Tom here. Can't give up 3, down 2 already. So stones away. See if Tom can't freeze to one of those back ones, or
looks a little hot.
Throw one on the button. Ashley thinks it's a little warm coming through here. Let's see what the sweepers say about it. They're waiting on it. What, one sweeping?
No, looks like a good weight. Sweep hard.
Oh, this looks real good. If they can hold the line, get a little tick. All right, that's a good shot. That's a great shot. I think that yellow, I think that red is second stone here. At least it's tough to tell from here, but that's what it looks like.
And it looks like their plan is right onto the button here.
Yeah, so Sheet Face really has one shot. The way that froze onto the back there, they can't get those reds out. So they're drawing on the button. They want to throw a shot rock here, try to get 2, maybe 3, depending on the measurement, which might be pending here. After this end, we're going to go check out David Rock and Sheet B and see how they're doing. So it always sounds easy when you're in the hack. Yep, just draw to the button. That's all it is.
This direction's a hard one, though.
Oh, they're all hard. It's one easy shot. It sounds easy. Especially as a skip in this game, these guys are throwing a lot of hits and everything. You don't get to throw a lot of draw weight.
Luckily, his last shot was a draw, so hopefully he's still got it in his legs. Nope, looks like it's fast.
Looks like it's wide.
No, it's
well,
fat.
You know what? He actually might hit and roll over here, which he does. Oh, just got a little bit too much. That's gonna be close. Looks like that might have bumped. That might be red.
I think that ticked them to red.
That's close. I don't know.
Which, break out the measuring stick. Which,
So red team's obviously saying, "Oh, it's red," and the red yellow team's saying, "Oh, that's yellow. Oh, it's not even close." Oh, yeah. So it's obviously between these two here, and they're trying to do. CJ says, "Get that out of there." That's a good call. So they're saying it's yellow, I believe.
we learned a couple of weekends ago that when in doubt, you always measure.
That's right.
A wise man once told my husband here.
All right, so we're going over to B. Is that right? Is rock on B?
I believe so. Rock and the Slippin' Sliders from the Curling Club of Houston with Carl Shaper as the skip. Looks like he's setting up. We're in the middle of an end here.
Alright, give us a few minutes while we get this situated. It looks like it is 4-1. As soon as David moves, I can figure that out. It's a big fat head. Someone please tell him I said that.
Coming in for the double.
So Slip and Sliders, a tough game last time out, but looked to be fighting Dave Rock here pretty hard, and that was I think it was probably going for a triple there, but
that
he
gives
accomplished
them
his goal there, and I think they're looking at 3.
in the house.
Well, it's behind the guard here, so they actually that's actually going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to get to that one.
But it does leave the potential double.
Well, David still he's gonna hit this rock here. It's right in the button and try to roll over and hit the other one. I don't know that it'll get there, but at least give him backing, and it'll probably be shot if he makes the shot. So he's got the broom here. That's the right call. You want to call the intern here. That way you get the right roll off of it. Tom's saying, "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're doing." And he says, "I don't know. We should throw the out turn." And then David says, "Okay, fine."
The good news is we don't need sound on this because we have Mike Siggins to interpret their body language.
Well, I just take all the cussing out of it. So David's probably throwing probably normal based on this ice here. I know if David skipped Daryl was throwing this shot, this would be a peel. And probably be on right about the middle of that yellow rock. This is normal, which is just take out way a little bit of an earlier release there from David. Let's see if he can be on the broom. Looks like Tom likes it. They're waiting on it to curl a little bit. Oh, looks a little bit outside here. Well, he got one of those yellows out.
And Chad,
unfortunately, that was the one that he could see. So I think that the Slip and Sliders and Carl are looking pretty good here in this end. Good chance to get back into the game. And they're saying, "What should we do here?" Well, maybe we can draw another one down there.
I think they might be talking about kittens.
I suppose that's possible, but very improbable. This is a chance to really understand, try to get what they're doing. You know, are they going to try and guard this up? Are they going to be happy with 3? You know, they got a lot of options here. They could try to hit that red out to the back. They could come out here and maybe throw one right back where they were before and put that mess over there and put 3 of them over there that David can't get to.
Unfortunately, since they're an out-of-town team, we don't know their general strategy.
Well,
if they're aggressive. Yes, but are they aggressive or are they...
Well, being down 4-1 here, I think this is a good opportunity for them to, 2 stones left, get 4 points. David's got 1 more. So it looks like they're calling an intern here, which means I gotta think this is a guard, unless they're going after that red in the back, which I suppose is another one of those 2 aggressive calls that I talked about. And I think that if they do this, what they force David to do is probably do a hit and roll to try and cut them down. And it actually be a good opportunity for the slip and sliders to score 4. But we'll see what the outcome of this shot. Now, short's not bad here. I believe this is Matthew Kane holding the broom here. He has a Daigle jersey on. If that is Casey Daigle, I can't imagine it's anybody but Casey Daigle, former farmhand and Major League Baseball player that came with the Diamondbacks.
And back to the important stuff. The Rock is out of the hack.
Well, curling, my Major League Baseball, I don't know.
Curling.
Especially with the World Series going on. So, if you're watching curling right now, then we know what your priority is.
Good for you.
So let's see where he's got this. Looks like he's trying to go for the hit. Looks pretty
I
good
think
here.
it's there. I think it's there.
Oh, it's a beaut. That's a beaut.
Oh.
Gonna pump that out, and actually leaving that red in the house there
Nice freeze.
is great. Because now David, now I think what David's got to do here is he's got to come down and freeze just to the back of where that yellow stone just ended up. That way they can't, I mean, even if he doesn't freeze here, he's got to be somewhere in line with those two stones. So yellow can't hit him out. Well, looks like he's talking about throwing normal and trying to get those two out. This is all we can freeze over here. So with that ice, he's probably throwing something that's a little up weight, so he's probably going for a hit here. I'm not sure I agree with this, so this might be an opportunity to just try to, up 4-1 here, try to prevent your opponents from scoring a lot of points.
David is 5.
Oh, it's 5-1. Okay. Again, all the more reason to try and freeze back there and cut your opponents down. But he could be trying to do an inside hit here, and if he gets this just right, he might be able to roll over, be shot, and still be right in front of that yellow. So let's wait, see what David does here. To see it as correct the score there, it's actually 5-1.
Coming in nice. Looks like it's at the right angle here.
Nah, he's not going to like that one.
Nope. Lose the shooter. Darn.
Well, unfortunately, he ran that back there, and yellow's got an open draw for 5 here to take the lead.
Which is great for Houston.
Yep, tough break for David.
One of the bonuses of having a Bonspiel where we have out-of-town visitors is you get to play with new teams and new people that you're not used to playing with, and ups your game all around.
Well, we just had a fun game against the club from the OC, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time playing them. Nice people. If anybody out there is not a curler and you want to meet some great people and make some friends, good way to do it. So let's see if he can just draw in here. He's got a little bit of backing here with that yellow on the back of the 8-foot. Stones away. Just draw here. Should be able to get 5.
Same shot as last time.
And same shot, so he knows what it is. Just a matter of repeating it. Easier said than done, though.
Always true. No reaction from the Vice, so it
Usually
looks
that's
like
a good
it.
thing. Oh, they're running hard. It looks like it looks a little light here. There, it's coming in.
Yeah, they just need to be.
Really do a whole lot, but, a
no.
little light there. Well, it's going to be 4 though for yellow.
Still a big end for them.
Yeah, so the slip and sliders get right back into it, tie it up. Let me go check on the other sheets here real quick, but we'll probably stay with this game.
Putting all the rocks back. Try to get the next end started quickly. Always want to finish your 8 ends in the 2 hours time allotted. Not always guaranteed. In fact, more often than not, during a Bonspiel. After taking a while to contemplate Skip's rocks, you only end up with 7 ends. But 8 is always the goal. Here we go. Slipping sliders out of the hack.
So we'll get this camera here changed for you. Just an update on the other games. They're both 5-2. Baird leading and Sheetface leading respectively. So we're going to stay here. It's the closest game we got here. If I can just figure out how to change it. And B1 hack. There we go. See what David's calling. Looks like he wants to draw around that yellow. Get one behind cover. Now you noticed just one sweeper here. David's team playing three-handed. Unfortunately, we had a couple teams that are three-handed, so all that more difficult, that more onus placed on that sweeper to be more effective. Not to mention the lead in the second. Well, there really is no third. They get to throw 3 stones apiece, and the skip throws the last 2. Yeah, a great shot right there. Right behind cover, perfect, right on the 7. That's a beauty. That'd be a 4 out of 4, if not a 5 out of 4.
Looks like Carl's going to try to just follow them in. If they did it, he can do it, so...
Well, that's the nice thing as a skip too. It's very important to pay attention to what
Broom
your
placement.
shot do, or where they have the broom, where they threw it, where it ended up.
Looks a little heavy. And through.
Yep. So David with the hammer here, I would think with 1 behind cover, he's probably going to try and split the house. If he doesn't do that, then he might go top 12, which he's doing right now. So he's going to go top 12. He wants this one in the house. This is not. It's still meant to be a guard, but he wants it counting. So he wants to get 2 up there and see if he can't keep the rest of those yellows out there. Stones away. So he really wants to avoid here. Even a 3 or short of the house would be okay, but anything behind the tee line would just be deadly. This looks like it's a little heavy. Nope, looks just right. It's curling around that guard. Oh, fine shot. And a little, maybe a biter there. I think that David had that one back. He might have swept another couple inches just to make sure it was in the house. But tough to tell from this angle. Could be a biter. So Carl and slipping sliders here. There's kind of a draw here. Just usually your lead and your second, you would try to give them draw weight. Gives you a lot to work with once you have some stones to hit off in the house. It's tough to call those upweight shots because all of a sudden if you miss 1 or 2 of those, you could put yourself really far behind. Or at least if he gets a couple rocks in the house, then it gives you something to work with. So coming down here looks a little heavy. David should be able to sweep this one through. And let's see what he does here. Is he going to try to throw another one up here, or might throw top 8? Nope, he's going to go freeze to that one. He likes this line he's got going on here, and obviously this will be the 3rd in a row with basically the same ice call. So should be able to throw it in here. Stones away for Chad. And if he can get that weight like he threw the first one, then it'll be a beaut. David says, hold on, looks okay.
Might be a little heavy.
Thompson's
Oh no, he's
sweeping
sweeping.
And
anyone-
looks all right. Now again, he wants to keep this in front of the tee line. Now, although that looks like a great shot,
The double is there.
well, not only is a double there, but I think that right here, Carl's going to throw it. He's got to throw a freeze. If you throw a freeze to the yellow that was just thrown here, or I'm sorry, the red that was just thrown, you're giving yourself an opportunity to punch it out next time. And you're still sitting shot. So it's stones away here. So obviously David taking a big lead in this, and Carl got the hammer here. The sliders. I don't even know how he did that. how we got around that front guard and still went in the middle there. That's crazy. But again, I think that was probably a good opportunity to freeze that one without the hammer.
I believe that was their goal.
Yeah.
But proof is in the pudding.
So David says, let's guard this up. Let's try to get another biter and see if we can't leave our stones in the house and maybe count 3 or 4 here.
A guard is hard to throw, especially after you've been throwing up weight shots. This is
Tom's
first stone.
Of the end here. So again, they want to keep this real important that it's in the top of the house. I think that's something that is lost on a lot of newer curlers, is how important it is to keep a lot of these shots in front of the tee line. You saw an opportunity there for the slip and sliders to freeze to that one that's...
Nice guard.
Yeah, it was a great guard there.
Good line.
So he's going to try and freeze here again, and you see the power of this shot behind the tee line. If they can shoot this gap here even before for Tom for that last shot, it's an opportunity to really change the way the end develops. Without the hammer, well, looks like throwing the other turn here. It's got to be up weight if it's gonna hit that yellow. And they're on it. And they got it by. They got it by. They might get a piece here. Wow, good shot.
And we can hear everybody out
Well,
in the warm room, hooting and hollering.
Out there, but now David's got 3 in a row here that are all kind of on the same line. So that seemed like a pretty good shot. Actually, might have ended up hurting his chances here because he took out the ability to freeze that red rock that was on the other side of the 4-foot here. So David says, let's draw one right to the button. I think again he'd like to be probably a little shy of the tee line here. And rocks away for Tom Danielson. See if he can get around that guard that's out front there. Even if he hits it, that's okay, as long as he moves it around a little bit. Just prevents the slip and sliders from trying to get at that red rock that's pretty close to the button there.
It's coming in
nice.
nice.
This looks wonderful. Might be a
It's
little
got to
deep
sit.
here.
Yeah.
Now, see, if I was David, I'd sweep that now. So he's got, looks like he's got at least 3 here. But still 3 stones left.
And I think with a heavy enough.
And without the hammer here, I think that Carl and Slip and Slide is going to be very careful. It's time to start taking some of these stones that are in the house out. I think that that's what he's doing here. He's throwing a hit. He's got to get some of these out. If he can hit and stick here, that'd be great. Otherwise, you might be opening yourself an opportunity for a big end. Now, you see how he jumped back there. Something you'll see more experienced skips do is when they call those shots, you want the sweeper to be able to, or I'm sorry, the deliver the stone to be able to see where the broom is. But it's not much more important to be able to see where the line is. You shouldn't have to jump out in the middle of calling the shot to determine whether you sweep or not. I know I've made that mistake a lot of times. They did clear the guard there, which was probably Plan B. Which exposes some of those reds in the house, so that's not an awful shot there. And David says, let's put one out here. Let's try to guard that up, just a 3. Please don't throw a 5, please throw a 3.
Easier said than done.
We'll see if Tom can throw a 3 out here. And prevent Carl from coming in there and trying to hit that red. Stones wait. Looks like David likes it. And he's coming out to sweep it. Now again, looks like it's a little light. Now with just 3 people on the team, there really is only that one sweeper, so it's a little tough. You actually see the skips coming out of the house quite frequently in this Bonspiel to try and help the sweepers, but not necessary. That 3rd sweeper does almost nothing. So unless they're kicking someone out that's very ineffective, it doesn't really do much. Very happy with that shot there. It's centerline guard. Looks like they can probably still curl around that and get to that red rock, which is what they're trying to do. But they're not going to be able to throw normal at it. or a normal takeout. So it looks like they're taking ice for probably a normal. So that red rock must be hugging that center line a little bit more than it appears from this angle.
It's sitting directly on the center line.
Looks like it's right on the center line. So it does. You can see this here. Actually, a good opportunity here for Carl to take back control of this end here. If he can hit this red and roll over a little bit towards the center line, he's going to be. If he's not shot, he's going to be sitting second and very buried. Which wouldn't be a bad scenario, never a bad thing to give up one when your opponent has the hammer. Generally speaking, when they have the hammer, you're fine giving up one. You always want to get at least two when you have it. So stones away here, big shot in this end. You can see David Rock counting at least three here, and with the hammer, there's a big opportunity here to try to get this back. Oh, looks pretty good. Oh wow, what a shot! What a shot! He got the roll. What a great shot!
That cut them down significantly.
That was a wonderful shot. So we got to get up to Carl here. What a great shot! So David's gonna try to do the same thing and probably go. Again, I can't tell how much of that stone you can see, but he's going to try to do the same thing. They did get that little bit of a roll there, so it makes it that much more difficult for David to hit this. But looks like a pretty clean hit. If he can pull it back off, and take back control of the end here.
Yep.
And he'll put Carl in a tough spot with his last stone. So just like that was a big shot, this is a big shot here for David. And stones away. Looks like he threw about board at that, which probably wasn't quite enough to get the reckon on that front guard. Oh, he's got around it.
Oh, close.
Oh, this looks
He's
great.
got it.
Oh, what a great shot.
And a tuck under cover.
And
Perfect.
What a great shot. David really came through there. What a great shot. So, going back to Carl here, in a bit of a tough spot. So he's obviously, I think he's saying, I'm going to give up two here. If I can get real lucky, I can try to come in and be shot and maybe get one. But if he can't, I mean, the one thing he wants to avoid here is leaving this an open hit for David. If he leaves this anywhere close to where that last one was, or even further off the center line, David's got an open hit there for 4, if not 5. So as much as I say it every time there's a stone about to be thrown, another big shot here. This is I'll tell you what though, that means it's been a great end, and that means a lot of really good shots played.
I am thoroughly enjoying seeing the Hulk on the sheet next door, though.
Well, we'll check on Barrett here in a minute. All right.
Rocks out.
Let's see what Carl does here.
I think he's got it.
They're not sweeping. Looks like
It's
it might
coming
be a little
in.
heavy.
And the little...
Oh, here it goes. Here we go.
The little what?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nope.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. Oh, what a shot.
You can hear everybody in the warm room getting excited.
Wow, what a shot.
Good job for Houston. Great shot, Carl.
He just saved his ass right there. So, I don't know, David might try to hit this out and get 4. Or he might say, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to throw that out? Yeah, we can throw that out there. Try the same thing and punch that out. Or are we going to go on the other side? And I don't know. So, it looks like he's throwing ice like he's probably going to throw that red guard there at the top of just over the tee line must be more on the center line than I think, based on the ice that they're taking. So David's got to hit this stone almost. The stone's got to be running right in the center line in order to make this shot effective. If he hits it anywhere towards the side of the rock that's away from the center line, he's just going to hit his own out. And I mean, that wouldn't really change anything, but so I can't think he's throwing a whole lot of weight at this. Maybe a board weight, which would be enough to just bounce off that back bumper that you see back behind Tom Danielson there. And the rock's away. Let's see how David does here. They're hard on it, which means it looks a little narrow. And they're back off.
Squeaked by. Nice shot,
so
David.
We got the double here, so he's going to get 2.
Great
What a
shot.
Great shot for David.
A great end for both teams, really.
That was some high level stuff. So 7-5 here, and we're going to switch this camera view so we can see the other one. I'm going to go check the other games right here to see what else we got going on. Just update you the scores, and Ashley will stay with you.
All right.
Online scoring. All right, so she's on. That one's on.
All right. So we're getting near the end of the last draw of the day at our spooky 5 and under Bonspiel here. David just pulled out a nice shot at the last end. And starting anew. Coming in with a guard here, right on center line. Just off center line. Trying to get a biter, and they got it. We all have to appreciate Tom and Chad both being the only sweepers on their team. It is always a hard job playing three-handed, but if anybody can sweep it there, it would be them. And the slip-in sliders are off. Looks a little deep. And possibly through with some good sweeping by David. Fall in behind is what he's asking for. Chad with his second of 3 rocks for this end. Looked a little softer than it should have been. Had to do some sweeping because of a little bit of extra curl. Slower the rock, the more curl we have. Curled in front instead of behind where it should have, but still a decent shot. Nice rock, gonna squeak by here into the house. Oh, not quite as far as I thought. David wants one on the button, as most skips always do. Last of Chad's rocks. Lots of ice to draw in behind. David wants no sweeping. Oh, lots of sweeping apparently. and draw in right among those other rocks. Got the front mucked up a bit, but since David's ahead a little bit, I guess that's not a bad thing. Makes it that much harder for Carl and the slip and sliders. Now they have to draw around to get into the house. But if they do that, then they're a little bit more protected. So it's a good risk to take. But sometimes it comes back to bite you. They're sweeping hard. Might get the tap back here. Just a little bit into the house. That worked out in their favor. I can't tell which is shot right now, but they're in the house nonetheless. Again, on the button. First of Tom's rocks. Tom is the king of drawing in behind. I know Mike was saying earlier he's the hit king, but I think he's really good at drawing in behind things, so we'll watch him do this now. Might be a little light. David's coming out to help. Nope, decided against it. Coming in just a little wide. Nope, too light. Seem to be struggling a little with weight here tonight. But the ice is fast, so you try to slow down and then slow down just too much. Hard thing to do.
Oh yeah, if you throw a takeout the first time and they want you, the skip wants you to throw a 3 or something, it's hard.
It is very hard, especially on fast ice. There's just a couple tenths of a second between hogging and flashing.
Once you talk a couple tenths of a second, usually as curlers we do a lot of timing. I don't know if you see these people out here with watches, but the most popular ones, the skips usually quickly time hog to hog for a tee line shot, which gives them an idea of how fast the ice is running for their own shots. And generally the sweepers will time when someone comes out of the hack. They will start the timer when they get to the hog line, and they will stop, when they get to the tee line coming out of the hack, and they will stop it when it gets to the hog line. Just for some perspective, we usually run about 3 seconds from tee line to hog line for a what's called a 7 or a tee line shot. We were at the ice den. That was about 2.4 seconds. So big difference here. Dedicated ice, a lot faster, it's a lot more keen.
Due to the hard work of our ice crew.
That's right, and
which we always appreciate. Awesome ice crew.
Sean Tate, here's to you, buddy. A Molson.
Or 2.
Or a PBR. I think that's your drink of choice today. So Rock got one of those out here. The sliders are scoring 2 right now. Rock's kind of got that bunch of reds there up at the top with that yellow that probably won't end up factoring into the end here. We got these 2 here that Carl's going to try and capitalize on that. I don't know if he's trying to draw around. I know that's what I would do. Looks like that's
coming in
doing.
quick.
It's got to get by that guard there.
I think a tick.
Wreck on it. But if he can get this, no, not quite a biter, but nonetheless an effective guard for a shot in the house.
A nice guard, yeah.
And he's looking for at least 2 here with the hammer. It looks like we're in the 7th end here in all the games.
And the games did start on time at 4:30, so
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, excuse me.
Which means we should have had a bell already. But with all games in the 7th, even if the bell happened, looks like we will get a full 8 ends in for all games. Which is unfortunately not quite the norm. I know that the games that we've played so far, none of them went their full distance. Which I'm sure a lot of it had to do with me forgetting my delivery at the wrong end of the ice.
Skips rocks always take longer.
Well,
and
we're just more important, that's all.
Well, and this also being a 5 and under Bonspiel, you have some newer skips. So newer skips
Well, it's not just
in
the newer
addition
skips.
to.
It's a lot of people that aren't used to playing with each other, and I think that the communication is huge. I mean, when you start playing with someone for long enough, you don't even need to say anything. It's just the third comes down. They put the broom right there. The skip just goes down. No words are even exchanged. They just know what the shot is. They play with them enough times. So it's nice, a Bonspiel like this. And we always like people playing together that haven't done so before. So it looks like David's probably trying to throw a long double here. But
I don't know. Somebody said something about shit is real.
and looks like a little outside. Hopefully it doesn't do that in the house. Let's see. Clear the guard out, so it's okay. I'll have one more shot on it.
Yes.
No, it's not. Sean Keeling, my wonderful third here, joining us in the studio.
How you doing?
Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. How you doing, boys?
Just so everyone knows, we feel like semi-celebrities being on the live YouTube feed here. I know that we only have probably a
For
few,
all our viewer.
a few viewers.
Oh, actually, let's check.
Shout out to
We
our.
have had at least 6, although our stream status is bad. Probably because someone's downloading and streaming something. But it's still fun at this end. Let's see what the slip and sliders here. They're scoring 2. If this was me, I'd be trying to put one in the top 12. Looks like where they got the ice call, that's probably exactly what they're trying to do.
If that was you, you'd have one in the top 12.
Let's
Well, I would hope so. So, stones away. Let's see what Carl does here. I must say, out of the 500s out here, Carl's probably got one of the best looking deliveries, if not the best. I know he's been working hard. He flew all the way out here for the high performance camp that we had a couple months ago here. And maybe paying dividends here on this shot. Looks a little light, sweepers around it though. And unfortunately that was a hog there. No cameras in the middle, you never know. Sometimes it picks. I can tell you that if someone was calling that shot earlier tonight in my match, they would have said, "What the hell is that skip doing? Just hogged it." But picked up a staple on the ice and just died. So you never know what happens out there.
You always wonder how things like staples get on the ice, but sometimes they do.
Well, sabotage. Just kidding, OC. So let's see what Dave's gonna do here. So there's no guard out in front here. He's probably throwing a board at this. He's just gonna try to hit that yellow out and roll over a little bit behind that mess red and yellow there. So a good opportunity for David to take back control of this end here.
Up by 2 is never a safe place to be.
Oh, yep, hurry hard. Hurry. Nope. That's the
Yes,
arrow.
it's got it. Might not stay. No.
Alright, so it looks like yellow's still going to be shot here. But if nothing else, that definitely is going to cut them down to 1. Because they're not going to get to that red. It's just, they're not going to get there. So that's never a bad thing going in the last end with the hammer up by 1. We could still have, there's one more shot for yellow here. He could freeze to that red or maybe even tap it out or draw in and
He's made some pretty darn good shots so far, though.
So there's still him and Han over who's shot here. I'm shot. Oh no, I'm shot too. Looks like red to me. No, it looks like yellow to me.
That looks like yellow.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure it out here. You can see all 4 of their team members trying to figure that out. This is obviously a big situation. Because if they're already 1, they're drawn for 2. But if red is shot, then they would have to do something about that. Try to draw around, get some kind of freeze and tap. Because because if you score here, you got to get at least 2. Because if you score, then Rock's going to have the hammer going on the last end. And obviously that's just such a big advantage. But the one thing that I accomplished right there was got that red way behind cover. So based on the ice he's throwing, I think that I think they're probably going to try and tap back that red. If not, just do a little freeze, a little bump, and try to get 2 here.
A little tap dance.
That indicates to me that they think that that red is shot. Of course, it might not because they are down by 2. They really need to get 2 here. 1 doesn't do a whole lot for them. And Stone's on the way here. They're not sweeping it. Means it might be a little heavy. It's got some curling to do.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a little outside. They might be able to wick off here.
Maybe?
Yeah. Tom's on that hard. Oh, he did get a piece of it, so we're probably going to measure in that one.
So they're first and
yellow 1 and red 2. So it's probably going to be a yellow 1. We're going to measure this one after we him and haw about it.
nope. They've
We
decided.
didn't measure it, so I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to keep an eye on the scoreboard.
Again, if we were out on the ice, always measure.
Well, they got better views than I do.
True.
And the one you're talking about was a biter measurement.
It still needed to be measured.
Well, there, Ash, my beautiful bride, is talking about we were playing in McCall, and I got 50 lashes for not measuring a biter that could have been a 4-ender for us.
5-ender.
5-ender. Oh, sorry.
As you can tell, there are still some bitter feelings about that.
So it looks like that was 1 there. They decided on, so we're gonna pop that up. So Team Rock up 1 here with the hammer going into the 8th. Always a good spot to be in. I'm gonna go step out real quick and check these other sheets, see if we need to do any checking in on those games.
And a flash. Unfortunately, knowing when you have to do 2 points as the lead, it's very hard to come out of the hack and have a good delivery under pressure, especially coming this direction, the slightly faster direction. It's always a little bit easier knowing that you're 1 point ahead. Coming in nicely. All right. Nice shot. When Carl looks like he wants a freeze here. Not quite what I would start with, but I'm not the skip. Looks like he came out a little lighter here, so hopefully he's got it. It's always nice to be lighter and know that your sweepers can get it there. It was lighter. Not quite the freeze that Carl was looking for. David wants a draw in behind. And this seems reminiscent of another end we watched, where all of Chad's rocks seem to end up in the same general vicinity. But
We're gonna go over
still
to
a
D here real
good
quick,
rock.
to see how things are going for Mr. Morelli. Not the other D here.
Nope, that's...
That's the right one.
Yep. We're still on rock over here.
Is that still rock? Yeah, it is. Okay, how do I do it?
Oh.
Nope, now we're good.
Now I gotta hit this. No, we're not.
Yeah, that is rock.
Blank. Gotta go to a blank. Another blank. Okay, hackers and cheat phase. That's what we want.
Just so everyone knows, I'm not in charge of the mouse, so
Well, we're trying here. We're gonna go back over to the T-line hackers and sheet faced here. Let me just go update this score here for you real quick. Sheet faced is up 5-4.
Tom made a...
And we did have the bell ring
Okay,
this end here, so we're gonna do one more after this one. And rocks away for Jason. So they got the hammer here, so especially with one end to go here, Tom and the T-line hacker is probably trying to get at least two. Well, it looks like that was the last stone there. So it looks like they got one. That was one, right? You don't know? Who knows? Okay. Looked like one to me. Well, we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard here and see what that says, and we'll switch it over. I'm just going to go ahead and put up one there for sheet face, because that's what it looked like. But being down two with the hammer, not the end of the world. Tom's going to try and put a few in the house here. If you can split the house, then it's great. Just an update, Baird is thoroughly in control, 10-2 last I checked. David Rock in the last end up by 1 with the hammer. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. But right now we're going to stay on sheet D. And we're just waiting to switch this camera until they post the score. Come on, post it. Well, we're going to assume it's 1, and then we'll go from there. If we see something different, I will certainly let you know. As you can see, Tom coming into the picture there. Looks like that one's going to go through the house. So coming down to the end here, all bets are off with stuff that I had told you earlier about stones in the back of the house and all that stuff. Right now, you just want to get 2 that can't be doubled. And then hope for a miss or 2, and then you might have a chance to get 3 and win the game. And it looks like Yellow's going to flash one here, so another good opportunity for Mr. Morelli and the T-line hackers.
Looks like he may have given that a little extra juju. Get that through the house.
Go check on David's game.
Don't mind me, I was being attacked by my teammate Becky Nolan with a basting brush. And I will be back to check on the other games.
Looks like Tom likes it. He's down to that stance that makes all the girls go, ooh. And it's coming in nicely. It's going to be right behind the guard. What a shot into the 8-foot. What a shot there. If you watch this later, Amy, my hat's off to you. That was a great shot. So, Tom here set up, at least initially here, for the good shot at 2, if not more. I actually went to go check on David Rock's game, up by 1 with the hammer here. And again, Berg well in control. And it looks like they were trying to throw a takeout there. Looks like kind of missed the whole lot. So Tom said, let's put another one out there in that 12 foot. So he wants to split the house here, and if I was him, I would throw the other turn, but nonetheless, doesn't matter how it gets there. Only matters where it ends up. So if CJ can throw a 4 here, that's in the house, then they'd be in pretty good shape. See Tom's room all the way on the side of the 12 foot there, giving him a lot of ice. There's been a lot of curl tonight, or even all day today. Especially with fast ice, unusual, but as you can see, the skips are doing a pretty good job adapting to it. Nope, nope, don't be sweeping that. Nope, what are you doing? So again, very popular and I guess over dramatized that you want to get on the button all the time. But that stone there probably better left in the red, the 12 foot, than in the 8 foot. So because what can happen here is Jason Halleck and Sheetface, they can play a hit here, and even if they stick, they're going to be shot. If they can roll over, it's going to be in front of that other red stone. So Tom would have been better off leaving that where it was. But nonetheless, no harm, no foul. A good shot there. Sheetface takes that out, and when you're up by 2, and they got 1 in the house, you just got to keep taking their stones out. Don't get an opportunity to score a lot. And Tom's calling a draw here. Got a lot less ice this time. Looks like maybe he's trying to go back behind the red that's shot right here. So Ashley's back with an update on David's game.
David's looking like he's in a good spot.
All right, so we can we'll
another hint.
We'll stay with the T-line hackers and Sheetfaced here.
Yeah.
So they're in the last end. David's up by 1 with the hammer, so they're looking okay.
Yeah, and he's got a red on the button. So.
Okay, behind cover.
Didn't look that far. But yes, it looks like it's a.
So a good shot by CJ there. Looks like they are behind cover, but they're going to go after it here. I think that's what they have to do. Well, and here's the freeze call. Maybe a little bit early for this, but if they can pull it off here effectively, then this will pretty much end the game. It'll be real tough to get that yellow out there if it's sitting second.
Coming out quickly.
As you see the high fives going down the hack between CJ and Carl there. Great shot there by CJ. Nice draw. So let's see where this stone ends up for yellow. Looks like it needs a little bit of help. And it could be a little shy here.
Around.
And they're going to bump that red up.
Help them out a little bit.
Well, the door's a little open there on that right side. I think, so Tom's calling this right here at the top of the 4 foot. I'm not sure I agree with this. I think, well, he's got to go for the win here, I guess. I think that the shot is probably to take out that yellow that's in the 12 foot. Especially with 4 stones left here, trying to draw already, you're kind of opening yourself up to a bunch of draws. Or I mean, I'm sorry, a bunch of takeouts. Especially not a whole lot of cover up there, but it could work out for him.
He's going for the gold here. I can't see. It's Carl getting in the hack.
I did verify our score is indeed correct here. Just to update you over on sheet B, we're at skip stones. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Skip stones usually means a draw off, but the last 2 stones for David Rock, he's looking pretty good here. Yellow's got a pretty tough shot here to try and salvage this. They actually have to take out their own and roll over. I'll keep you posted on here as it comes down. But we're going to stay with sheet D here, and the T-line hackers and sheet faced. Looks like Tom's got the beginnings of what might be a draw to the button type end here.
Each of them keep trying for the same shot. He's still going for that.
What happened the last time there? Was that a couple of flashes I missed there?
2 flashes.
Yeah.
Too much ice, too much heat on both of them, in my opinion.
So you can see him move the broom here, so it's significantly less ice than he had last time. He was all the way out in 12 foot.
This is where Tom had his broom. Last shot. Sounds like something exciting's happening on the sheet B. Alright, apparently we have to go to B. It's very exciting.
So we're going to leave this and come back in just a second here.
Alright. And it looks like yellow has 1 and 2. Which is not ideal for David. Oh, under tons of cover.
So just to update you all here, I didn't see exactly what happened there, but this red stone that you see here in the 8 foot was sitting shot behind cover, and I think that Carl had made a hell of a shot here. I think based on where I see everything ended up, he had to take out his own wick off and then hit that red out. So with all this cover here, David's got a hell of a job in front of him here. Last stone here, last end. Let's see if he can't hit this yellow out and get a victory here for the Coyotes. Rocks away. You just gotta shoot this port here.
No sweeping. Waiting for the.
Here we come. It's got to curl a little bit here. Looks pretty good. Oh, it looks like. Oh,
looks
wow.
Like 2.
Looks like 2 yellow. So that might be a heartbreaker or a loss there for David.
Yes.
And there's the shake, and that's indeed what happened. Let's go back over to D, see if we can't catch the end of this game here. Like we got 2 rocks left here. Big shot for Jason here. Tough call with 2 reds in the house there. So the tough part is if he, well, look at those 3 out front there. We missed those earlier, or they weren't there earlier. He's got a hit here. He's got to get one of these red out. He can't. I mean, if he misses this or wrecks in the guard, Tom's pretty much.
It looks like right now.
Drawn to the 8 foot for a
The
win.
T-line hackers are sitting 3.
Oh, they're sitting 2. Where's 3?
Right next to.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a rock hiding by
So he's
Mr. Alex.
he's shooting the gap here, huh? Like normal.
This will be a big shot for Tom. No, not for Tom. For
Jason.
For Jason.
So this is normal way right through the port here, and if he misses wrecking on those guards, he should be able to lose at least one of those red stones and give his team a chance here.
He's out.
Stones away. Well, Alex says, "Oh, let's go with Plan B."
And
Looks a little wide here.
Ooh.
Wow.
They cut him down to 2?
I don't know what the hell happened there, but we're down to 2. Tom's got 1 left, so I think he's got a. If he can hit this yellow out here, he's got to win.
We've got the peanut gallery behind us, but it's all good.
All right, back in action there. Sorry to do a little bit of cursing. So let's see what Tom does here. Oh, he's got the ice way out there. It looks like he's drawing.
Is it last rock?
Yeah, it's last rock.
Might as well.
So he's down by 2. He's got 2. You just got to be careful he doesn't promote this yellow here. I think I'd be trying to throw maybe hack weight and hit that yellow out and win the game.
It's kind of tucked. We'll
but tough to see from here with this camera angle, and ooh,
squeak by.
Oh, we might have it here, folks. Wow, and a victory for the T-Line Hackers.
Wow, nice shot.
Hell of a
Tom.
come-behind victory for Mr. Morelli.
Great job.
Wow, what a game. Two fantastic finishes there. I think we're signing off for the night. So I want to thank the Peanut Gallery, Sean Tate, and Daryl Horseman. And for Ashley Siggins.
Yes, of course. For keeping you in check.
See ya. That's been like that the whole time, but